Still a High Templar in play, still Dragoons moving in. Just going to be critical here for Firebathero, actually moving some SCVs to help support Poly to continue his economic pressure. Now the Reaver the Reaver was so close to the tank, should have actually been able to take those out with the Arbiter also cloaking them, but I think there's a Science Vessel in play that got on stasis, so Pure's attack, despite being very successful, does not actually manage to completely destroy that position. Firebathero Pure did not manage to get a full-on surround around those stasis units. Now has finally weapons 2 upgrades. Firebathero, I believe, still at 2-1. I'm waiting for them to put some forces on, but Pure still managed to keep some of his arbiters alive, and one single arbiter standing around there. Oh, stasis is a Science Vessel. Critter just stops the Science Vessel so he can go around getting full-on spots. Exactly what he needs to do. Still Zealots running around. Firebathero finally taking the 12 o'clock. Some Zealots actually running towards that position to try to harass them a little bit, maybe actually do some mine clearing, trying to get some mines into Vultures, unfortunately unsuccessfully. Still at one single Science Vessel running around, some mines hitting some Dragoons, but Pure still has pretty much regained a pretty sizable force, has even more Dragoons moving on alongside his Zealots. Firebathero has a lot of tank that he's going to push on the ridge, he's going to scan, so Pure moving his forces back just in time, losing a couple of Dragoons. He could have had much heavier losses if he hadn't reacted very quickly. Now actually going to move towards the north, so the 12 o'clock started by taking out turrets, so he can move into Arbiters into play. Just a few tanks to help defend, nothing much else. Reinforcements running in now, trying to get rid of those Arbiters, but not managing to. Scans going off everywhere for Firebathero, but I think Pure actually will be able to take down this 12 o'clock position before it really gets properly going. Some forces are being lost, but the CC is going to go down. Stasis again on the Science Vessel, so that doesn't spot the forces. Mines being microed against. Pure's going to lose a lot of his ground forces. A few more maybe than he should have lost. Is going to get cleaned up. I'm not quite sure if he managed to get his Arbiters to safety or not, but critically he does manage to take down the 12 o'clock position. So Firebathero now on the back foot in a pretty bad position. Pure establishing the lower left, going to take his 6th base. And interesting for Pure, he's still mining off his main. I mean, he's just expanding every time he gets a chance to, so that he can just mine from all of his bases, so that he'll never run out of minerals. I've seen a lot of tosses in huge macro games, particularly PvTs, do this a lot. Kind of playing a little Zerg-like, really, just expanding a lot more and a lot quicker maybe than they need to. This puts them a little out in the open, perhaps, puts a little risk on them, because they could be using those minerals to get more troops out in the field. But instead, their main bases, their natural, they don't mine out quite as quickly as you would have thought. So, you know, they get their economy for a little bit longer. There's also, of course, adding in gateways at those far bases so you can produce some reinforcements there, and some, they're not really very quick resupply routes, but they still help out. Still cannons out all over the field. Now some probes being ferried toward the lower left. And a pretty sizable force of Dragoons alongside High Templars, and I think an Arbiter there as well to support. I think Pure, at this point, could try to go for a recall even. He has enough forces, he could send in a small recall at some base. Firebathero trying to establish the 3 o'clock. I think Pure actually knows this coming, gets off a storm, which the Vultures first dodged and then ran right into, and now Pure is going to go to the 3 o'clock base. Firebathero has nothing to defend, has a few SCVs being ferried, forces to cancel the CC, has a pretty sizable force himself, but of course he's so unmaneuverable with his force, just tanks and Goliaths. The only thing that can really move around well are the Vultures, and just does not really have too much. So Firebathero, with his unmaneuverable force, being forced to just wait for Pure to do something and just try to react. And now actually is going to be a little bit of a battle. Firebathero is going to push and get some EMP off. I think he managed actually to catch the Arbiter, has a Science Vessel leading off, has some Vultures moving in. I'm going to see whether they actually have mines or not. Archon's actually now out in the field for Pure. Still has a whole lot of different units. All the tanks have been taken out. One mine takes out a Dragoon. There's still probes also being ferried. Have to be careful not to get caught. And now the inside 11 o'clock, the inside 1 o'clock, I'm sorry, a Firebathero going to be caught again. Dragoons alongside Arbiter and Archon moving towards that position. And a 12 o'clock position trying to be reestablished for Firebathero, but even more forces running towards there. So Pure is all over the map at this point. Has forces to spare everywhere. Takes down the inside 1 o'clock. I believe, no, actually takes out the 12 o'clock yet again, I believe. Takes out the inside 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock just now. Getting a little bit confused at what point what's happening where, but these forces should actually be managed to cleaned out by Firebathero, but at this point he's so desperate for something. Stace is going off on Size Vessel and tanks. Some Dragoons actually going to be able to move in close. A little bit careless by Pure there, sacrificing some of his goons to tank fire, which he really shouldn't have needed to do. Should have ran his Zealots in first. Some storms coming in from distance. Just sacrificing troops at this point. He knows he has them to spare, but I think really should not waste too many forces, because seen this done before where a player just wastes too many of his forces and then ends up getting them killed. Has, I believe, 3 weapons and 1 armor at this point, Pure, so he's pretty good in the upgrade fight as well, although I'm not quite sure where Firebathero is at that level. Has probably 12 gateways at this point, producing from all of them. Still has so many bases mining. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 bases mining for Pure. Firebathero is sticking to trying to establish the 3 o'clock. Just has his main, which I'm not really sure how well he's doing. Not even sure what his natural is doing. Just very starving for minerals, really. Just the ground force he has at this point is really much all he has, while Pure can continue producing as much as he wants. At this point, I can't really see any chance for Firebathero to come back. Now there's going to be a small recall coming in from Pure. Actually, he's going to recall upon some stuff. Moving in right and close, managing to get it off a recall right into the factory line. So now he's going to try to kill off the reinforcement before they can get there. Observer getting taken down. There's a High Temple Arbiter also goes down. Dragoons and Zealots not actually going to be able to manage to do too much, preventing something from happening. Actually storming some Goliaths. Zealots not going to move in, just try to possibly attack some tech. Actually now going for the armory, is trying to get rid of upgrades. Not going to manage to accomplish too much, most likely, because Goliaths and Vultures are moving in to defend. But just this simple harassment is enough, just to do some little damage, to harass Firebathero, to force his attention away from the possible stomping that's going to be coming down his natural expansion. And Firebathero at this point has lost this game. There's no way. Pure's not going to moving in. Firebathero doesn't even have any tanks to defend. Has some Goliaths alongside Vultures. Pure just waiting for the optimum chance. The only tanks that Firebathero has are there to defend his new 3 o'clock base, which is the only mining he has. Now there's actually a shuttle moving. I'm going to see what actually that has, whether it's a Reaver inside or what. There's going to go for something. Actually, Dark Templar alongside some Zealots going to kill all of these gas mining SCVs. Then going to go for everything surrounding, and Pure now going in for a full frontal attack. A few tanks, Goliaths, and Vultures that meet him. Arbiter is going to go down. Stasis on the tanks though, and Pure is going to take this battle and already has the game. So GG imminent for, yeah, there we go. GG from Firebathero, and Pure moves on to the winner's match, where he is going to face off against 4GG. So Pure has a chance to be the first player for WeMade FOX to get forward here. Very exciting, I gotta say. A little bit surprised, but at the same time not surprised. Firebathero not very lucky with this group facing off against 2 possible Terran protoss opponents. So a good game overall. Looking forward to the winners match. GG guys, wrenching out. Thanks for listening.